an evolving journey, and I would like everyone here to embark on one with me. Imagine waking up tomorrow believing that you can truly achieve anything. It's not a fantasy, it's a shift in your mindset. Our minds can either make or break us, and that's a fact you can almost take to the bank, but I don't think they'll give you any money for it. Quick analogy. Is there anybody here that, understands how a game control pad works? Or, you know how you play a game using a control pad? Our minds are like the control pads to our lives. They control our thoughts. They control our actions, our movements. They are the control pads. I know at this point, everybody has heard the word mindset over and over again, and you're like, yes, we know, mindset. But truly, do you? I'll give you two definitions to the word mindset, but I relate with the second one better. According to the American Psychological Association, mindset is a state of mind that influences how we think about and then enact our goal-directed activities in ways that may systematically promote or interfere with optimal functioning. Now, that's a great definition. For me, I'll define it as simple as the word itself. Your mind is set. Your mind is set on your attitudes and abilities towards things it thinks that you are capable of. Over time, we have subconsciously set limits on our minds with things that we think we can do or not do. And that's normal as humans, because these things happen subconsciously. Sometimes it even starts with the people that love us the most. Let me give a relatable example, which everybody here might relate to. Us, as kids. You know, when we want to do something new, and our parents, in a bid to protect us, to guide us, they say things like, oh, stop, you can't do it. Or, no, don't even try to reach it. It's too tall, you can never reach it. Subconsciously, that's how we start to form those limits on our minds. And this is coming from people who probably love us the most in the entire universe. So it's normal human nature. But the thing is, as we grow, our mind actually has the ability to keep growing. Quick background. I am a leader in my field in technology as a business analyst and also a digital entrepreneur. But I wasn't always this. I actually started my scholarly journey in the field of arts, and I decided not to go to the sciences. I remember vividly well why I ran away from the sciences, because I didn't know maths. I had failed maths a couple of times, and in my head, I didn't know maths. I'd failed it a couple of times. I didn't even try to learn it. That was it. So, guess what, guys? Art wasn't as easy as I thought, but that's story for another day. Years down the line, around the year 2013 to 2015, some events happened in my life which took me to my lowest point. And it got me seriously thinking. I knew I wanted more, but I couldn't admit it to myself or allow myself to go for more, because subconsciously I had put some limits on my mind on what I could achieve or what I was allowed to achieve. Yes, I was aiming high, but not as high as a TED Talk. And so that carried on, and sometime around the year 2016, I read a book which changed my perspective and made me start to look at life in another point of view. I started to think, what if I tried to learn it? What if I wasn't limited by the past, thinking that because I had failed it in the past, then that was it. That's gone. I couldn't do it. So I started to read some more. I started to expand my mind. I started to learn new things. And at this point, I'd like to introduce you to the theory of the growth mindset. Now, the theory of the growth mindset is a theory that was coined by Stanford professor Carol Dweck in the year 2006. And this theory says that we as humans are not limited by our abilities, but we actually have the potential to let our intelligence keep growing. Now, that's amazing. Amazing that you are not actually confined and, kind of like put on the side based on what experiences you've had in the past, but you can actually grow, learn new skills, aspire to be more. Now, when I read this, like that was it for me. But the funny thing about growth is it's going to introduce change. And now that's a tricky one, change. Change is hard. And if we're being honest, it's actually scary. Because naturally, our body wants to keep us safe. It's unpredictable, so you just want to stay where you are. But for you to grow, you need to change, and you need to put in the constant steps to achieve growth and change. I remember when I started this evolving journey of mine, I didn't really tell any of my friends what I was doing because, the very few people I told, they thought I was going a bit over my head or aiming too high. So naturally, I went within, and then I started doing the growth steps. I started to read more. I started to expand my mind. I started to focus. I started becoming self-aware. I started protecting my energy, putting boundaries around me, and the shift was massive. Although, down the line, as I went down the line, an old friend of mine, I'll never forget, she was the very first person that told me, she looked at me in confused admiration, and she was like, "Oh, Abby, you've changed." And those words hit me. Because I wasn't expecting it. And this was coming from a very dear friend of mine. And I'm like, oh, I've changed. I felt like I was losing a part of me. I felt like I'd lost someone, And then I started hearing from other people. People that didn't even know that I was going on this evolving journey of mine. "Oh, Abby, you've changed. Oh, Abby, you're glowing. Oh, Abby, you hit that goal." And then I started to hear it. I started to meet new people. And then one day, it hits me. And I'm like, yes, I have changed. At first, I thought I was losing someone, but no. I was actually growing into the person that I needed to become. And when that realization hits me, I just kept going. And I kept going. And I kept going. And here I am today giving you this TED Talk. So it's okay. It's okay to mourn the old you because as you change, that's going to happen. But be ready to embrace the new you. Change is hard. It is hard. I can tell you for free now that was the hardest point of my journey. But you know what's more terrifying and harder? What's more terrifying is sitting in that same spot where you are right now and forever wondering, what if? So, let's dive into the steps that I took to get me moving along this journey and get me to this point where I am today. First things first, I would like to encourage everybody to embrace the growth mindset. You need to embrace the growth mindset and understand that you are not limited by past occurrences or past circumstances, but how your mind currently reacts to the situation around you. That is the foundation and the most important step. Once you can embrace this growth mindset, I would like to encourage you to become self-aware. Now, saying self-aware, that might sound, a little bit funny, but it's true. Because it's so easy for us to lose ourselves with everything going on around in life and just kind of float through life. So you need to be self-aware. Something I used to do back then, when I first started on this journey was, I'll give myself a little pinch. Every now and again. just to remember I'm in the present. Is everybody here? Can you just give yourself just a little pinch? Just to let you know that you are here. Right now. In this moment. Thank you. Once you become self-aware, you would naturally start to focus more. And once you can start to focus more, you are more centered. And once you can start to focus more, you can start to vision. You can start to visualize your goals. You can start to visualize where you want to get to. What do you want to achieve? Once you start visualizing that, I would want to encourage you to start writing that down. For your visioning, you can, get inspiration, put everything on a template, create a mind movie. Get a moving template where you can put all your ideas on and watch it every day till your mind, body, and soul understands that that is the point that you are all trying to get to. So once you start visioning and writing down your goals, which is your goal setting step, I want to encourage you to break your goals into long-term, medium-term, and short-term goals. Your short-term goals are really there for you to understand and, kind of like validate to yourself that you can achieve those goals. For example, your long-term goals could be something like, I want to read so amount of books by the year 2030. And your medium-term goal could be, I want to read a new book every 3 months. Your short-term goal could be, I'm going to read 3 pages of this book every day. An accumulation of your short-term goals and medium-term goals will lead to your long-term goals. If you keep this up, very soon, those big plans, long-term goals of yours, they wouldn't look so big anymore. For this, you need to put in consistent action. Because on this journey, I failed, and I fell, and I failed, and I fell again. But once you are consistent, you would surely get there. Hence the consistency in the action step. Now, we've gotten to a point where we're going to meet some resistance. You're going to meet some external resistance. This is the point where you're going to have to start protecting your energy. What are you feeding your mind? Who are you associating yourself with? You need to start protecting your energy to make sure that you are surrounded by positive people, positive energy. You need to start aligning yourself with the people who are on the same trajectory and path as you, who are trying to get to the same destination. And then you're going to have to put in boundaries. You're going to have to put in boundaries so that you can focus on your goals and where you're trying to get to. You're going to have to put in boundaries to stop distractions. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to put in boundaries just to stop distractions. And you're going to lose some friends. Well, you're going to lose some friends because now you have boundaries. So that's normal. But that doesn't matter. You make new ones. And once you can follow these steps, success will inevitably be yours. So remember, embrace the growth mindset. Once you embrace the growth mindset, become self-aware. Once you become self-aware, you will start to focus more. Once you start focusing, you can now start visualizing and visioning where you want to get to. Once you start visioning, I would want you to write those goal steps down and put in consistent action. Once you put in consistent action, remember to protect your space, protect your energy, and create boundaries. And you are set up for success. Like I said, it's going to be hard, but you can surely do it. So today, I'm going to leave us with one last question. What would you do? What would you strive to achieve if you knew without a doubt that all your possibilities were limitless? Thank you.